Vidya vivadaya dhanam madaya shaktih paresham paripedanaaya khalasya sadhor viparitame tajnanaya danaya cha rakshanaya.
Today we sit with one of the most piercing verses ever written about human character from the pen of Bhartrhari, the poet king of ancient India. Listen to it first in Sanskrit. Vidya vivadaya, dhanam madaya, shaktihi paresham paripedanaya, khalasya sadhoh viparitam etat, jnanaya danaya cha rakshanaya. In the hands of a wicked person, learning becomes a weapon for quarrel, wealth becomes fuel for arrogance, and power becomes an instrument for tormenting others. But for the noble person, all of this is exactly reversed. Learning ripens into wisdom, wealth flows into giving, and power stands guard as protection. Let us walk through the words slowly because each one is carefully chosen. Vidya means learning, acquired knowledge from the root vid, to know. Vivadaya means for quarrel, and notice the construction. Vada means speech or discourse, but the prefix vi turns it into speech directed against someone. Dhanam is wealth, and here is a lovely detail from the oldest layers of the language. In Vedic times, dhana meant the prize won in a contest. Wealth is always something won. The question is what you do after the winning. Madaya means for intoxication. The root mad gives us the word for the blind, drunken state of an elephant in musht. That is what wealth does to the wicked. Shakti is power, pure capability, from the root shak, to be able. Paresham paripedanaya, for the thorough crushing of others. The root ped means to press or squeeze, and the prefix pari means all around, completely. Not accidental harm, systematic oppression. Now the two characters. Khalasya means of the wicked person. And here lies a hidden metaphor because khala originally means a threshing floor, the place where grain is beaten to extract the kernel. The wicked person treats every human being as grain, something to beat value out of and discard. Sadho means of the noble person, from the root sad, to go straight to the goal. A sadhu is literally a straight goer, someone whose means and ends point in the same direction. Viparitam etat, this is reversed. And then the three noble purposes. Jnanaya for wisdom, danaya for giving, rakshanaya for protection. Here is the quiet genius of the grammar. The entire moral teaching is carried by a single case ending, the dative, the case of purpose, the case that answers the question, for what? The three possessions never change. Learning is learning, wealth is wealth, power is power, whether a saint holds them or a scoundrel does. Only the for what changes. The asset is constant. The dative is character. This verse comes from the Niti Shataka, the 100 verses on right conduct, composed by Bhartrhari around the 5th century of the Common Era. Tradition says he was a king of Ujjain who renounced his throne, a man who had personally held learning, riches and royal power and had watched from the inside what these things do to people. He is not lecturing from a cave, he is reporting from the palace. And what he reports has been confirmed remarkably by modern psychology. Researchers studying what is called the power paradox have found that when people gain power, their empathy measurably drops and their impulsiveness rises. Power drifting toward oppression as a default setting. In famous experiments with rigged games of Monopoly, players who were randomly given more money became visibly ruder and more entitled within minutes. Wealth turning to intoxication right there in the laboratory. And studies of motivated reasoning show something sobering. More intelligent people are often better at defending their biases, not escaping them. The sharper the mind of the quarrelsome person, the sharper the quarrel. Bhartrhari saw all of this 15 centuries ago without a single experiment. There is one more secret in the verse. Look at what each misuse does to the asset itself. Knowledge used for quarrel stops growing because a debater listens only to refute. Wealth used for intoxication is literally burned up. Power used for crushing others creates enemies that eventually destroy the powerful. Misused assets consume themselves. But wisdom deepens learning, giving returns as trust, and protection makes power legitimate and lasting. The noble uses compound, the wicked uses decay. Goodness in Bhartrhari's accounting is not just prettier, it is better economics. So how do we live this? Let me offer a simple evening practice. Call it the dative audit, asking for what of your own day. Each night, 3 questions. First, something I knew today and spoke about. Did I use it to make truth clearer or to make myself look right? Second, a decision I made with money. Did it feed my vanity or did it feed something real? Third, a moment when I held power over someone who could not push back. A junior, a child, a waiter, someone waiting on my reply. Did they leave that moment feeling crushed or feeling safe? And then choose one dative for tomorrow in advance. Teach someone something and take no credit. Give something quietly. Use your position to shield someone. Because here is the final teaching hidden in this verse. The sadhu is not a different species of human being. The sadhu is simply a person who chooses their for what deliberately day after day until the reversal becomes their nature. Vidya Jnanaya, Dhanam Danaya, Shakti Rakshanaya. Learning for wisdom, wealth for giving, power for protection. May everything you hold flow in that direction.
विद्या विवादाय धनं मदाय शक्तिः परेषां परिपीडनाय खलस्य साधोर्विपरीतमेतज्ज्ञानाय दानाय च रक्षणाय